television, news media, movies, many of these things are here to hypnotize you and to put you in a state of obedience. And many people are not even aware of it because it's disguised as entertainment. So we're going to be talking about this today. So hello everyone, my name is Autumn Asphodel and I am a coach to help you live your best life, free from anxiety and stress to come into your true self. And today we're talking about how television and movies, and especially the news media, primarily the news media, will present information to you and put you into a suggestible state in order to hypnotize you and dissociate your mind, causing a dissociative type of state. So enjoy the video. Do you still watch the news or television? Did you know that your television, your news media, all cause you to be unable to think for yourself as they program you with subliminal messaging? The tactics used by not only television shows, movies, the news media, but also the government are a form of hypnosis. Hypnosis is a technique where the individual relaxes their mind as positive suggestions enter their mind, bypassing their conscious and going directly into subconscious as they accept them as true. This will reprogram the person's mind with the suggestions as dissociation begins to set in. Dissociation is the sense that the person is disconnected from reality, unable to think for themselves, and live within their mind, programmed and reciting what they hear and see in the news without looking into any evidence to support their claims. They are then consumed by cognitive dissonance, where they are literally unable and unwilling to see any evidence that goes against their beliefs. In short, television programming makes the individual unable to connect with their true authentic self and become detached from the reality while believing a false narrative. How exactly is this done? Let's look at one of the biggest sources of lies and propaganda, the news media. If you are still watching the news, consuming online news sources, all mainstream, especially after 2020, then you, unfortunately, have been put under the hypnotic spell the media has cast upon you, as you cannot look away or think for yourself. Reciting the exact narrative they all say as if you're a robot, all with no evidence to back up any of the claims you make. So dissociation is a disconnect from yourself. You are disconnected from who you are. Now, it can go really severely or it can be kind of mild. We all have a natural dissociative capability because it is natural for the mind to dissociate in certain situations. But what if it's something that is intentionally induced by the things that you consume? Well, that's exactly what happens, especially in the news media. The whole purpose of the news media is to instill a state of fear which makes you suggestible in order to divide you, give you suggestions, and to dissociate you. How the media does this is quite simple. The first step is to create a suggestible state. There are many ways of going about this, but the news will do it with fear. When you turn on the news, you hear about all the violence, death, end of the world like scenarios, and turn your eyes to the screen and cannot look away. They got you with fear. The fear is to create a suggestible state. But why fear? It's because people will listen the most when something is fear-based as opposed to a positive, happy story. If someone knows their life is on the line, they will listen closely and comply without question. So fear is used to create the suggestible state as people's eyes are glued to the television and will listen. The next step is to divide. The news will change stories, make your fellow human beings seem like an enemy. This divisional, discriminatory, and segregation tactic is used to make you weaker and break you down so you can be more easily accept what they are saying as true. By making you feel ostracized, they can give you suggestions, or rather orders, for what to do next as you see your friends and family as threats. In actuality, it's them that should be the focus, not your fellow human beings. They even edit clips out of context to make it appear someone from the opposing side is far worse than they actually are. Next is to give instructions or suggestions. Do this, or else. Obey, comply, don't question. When you watch the news, that's essentially what is being said. They give instructions as to how to avoid death and negative outcomes. Listen to the instructions, or you're putting your life at risk. If you notice, not one news source actually shows the raw scientific data or talks about it in depth. And finally, dissociate. This step is to essentially lock away your natural personality, who can think freely, critically, and for yourself, and bring in the brainwashed sheep who recites what the news says without second-guessing themselves. You will often find people who have gone so far into this state that they will recite, word for word, exactly what the news told them to, without questioning it, looking at their original articles and studies, and so on. This person is now detached from reality and their friends and family, and is essentially just a megaphone of the news media to spread their agenda. They now control and practically own you. So how do you get out of this? It's quite simple. Turn off the television and mainstream media and begin to think for yourself. Find out what you truly believe in and begin to question everything. Become a critical thinker and think outside the box. You often find that most things aren't what you thought they were, and you've been put under a spell and essentially become a robot, parroting what the television said. Think for yourself and outside the box, and you will succeed. Let me know how this works for you. Have a great day. So the news media especially will put you into a state of fear to make you more suggestible as they divide you from your fellow human beings, as they give you suggestions of what you should accept, and this causes the dissociative split within your mind where you become disconnected from who you truly are. A different form of thinking, different thought patterns emerge from this as you then recite exactly what the news media says, exactly as it is. So, that is the way that they will control you, that is the way that they hypnotize you, and that's the way that they control the masses who consume the propaganda. So take a step back and realize this is all propaganda, this is all lies that you hear. Turn it off, and I can guarantee you that you will feel much more at peace and much better if you just stop consuming all of the fear-based media. Be sure to check out the amazing merchandise over at Asphodel Shop for some inspiring designs. And I want to know what your thoughts are on this topic. And if you were someone who was a brainwashed zombie, essentially, of the news media, or you know someone who still is. So I'm curious to know your thoughts on this, so thank you all so very much for watching. You all take care, and I'll see you again soon.